Hello, scholars, and welcome back. It is already week 6 of POL 452, Organizational Theory and Design. I'm pleased that we had another successful week 5. Outstanding work, excellent work on our discussion boards and our case studies, and everybody submitting their articles for their critical assignment. I'm super excited to read through your critical assignments. It seems like many of you have great topics, good articles, so I'm looking forward to that all coming together. Speaking of critical assignments, that's a big point of this week's video. I just want to ensure that we're all on the same page, that we have deadlines that are creeping ever so quickly towards us. We realize that our critical assignment is due early in the 8th week. So all that we have is the remainder of this week 6, all of week 7, and then early in week 8, our critical assignments due. So I hope that all of you are diligently working on your critical assignments, knowing that those deadlines are creeping in on us very quickly. But let us focus on week 6 and see what we have in store for us. For our module objectives this week, we're going to once again look at the classic and current organizational theories and apply those to the public sector. We're going to analyze and discuss current organizational theories. We're going to demonstrate proficiency in understanding the concepts of case analysis. We're going to create a profile analysis of public organizations. We're analyzing organizations and make recommendations for increased effectiveness and efficiency. And we're going to apply a Christian worldwide view to the evaluation of public agencies when making recommendations for organizational change. And you can see that these module objectives, these student learning outcomes, are the foundation of this course, and they're repeated weekly so that ultimately at the end you can say that you have all these abilities. That's the goal to all of our courses. So let's look at our reading this week. And I think the reading this week you're going to particularly like, especially out of the Jones text, because what we're going to finally do, or not finally, but what we're going to do is we're actually going to start applying the concepts of organizational change. In the weeks prior, we've built a large foundation. But when you get into chapter 10, we're actually going to talk about the types and forms of organizational change. And then in chapter 11, we're going to talk about the organizational transformation, where there's a cycle of birth and growth and decline and death. So you're actually going to apply some of these different concepts that you can maybe actually utilize a lot of this for your critical assignment. So this is a good week to pull information. And then there's also a supplemental article, Designing Collaborative Networks in Public Safety, so that we can identify classical and current organizational theories. So the Jones text 10 and 11 and our supplemental article. I also have a video that I've included, and it is a TED Talk with that we're going to talk about how public and private collaborations drive urban innovation, and with the concepts of private and public collaboration. You know, if you do work in the public sector, you know that this is a hot topic with our collaborative efforts between the public sector and our private sector, pulling a lot of those very valuable attributes from our private sector and applying them to our public sector workforce. So good video on that, and that's going to link directly to our discussion board. So this week, our discussion board, week 6 discussion board, watch the video in this week's learning activities and read the supplemental article on collaboration in public safety agencies. And then what I'm asking you to do is share your thoughts on partnerships for public agencies. How can partnerships, public-private or public-public, enhance a public organization's effectiveness and efficiency? Are there any downsides to such partnerships? Your original post should be 300 words, and then you need to respond to at least 2 of your colleagues' posts with at least 100 words each. There's a rubric, 15 points for the original, and each of the 2 comments worth 5 points. And this is a great topic. When we talk about public-private or even public-public, how does that work for you? I know for many of us that work in public agencies, unless you're working for just a gigantic public entity, that many of us need to, there is some level of outsourcing, there's some level of collaboration with our private, and then mostly, and I think this is where public agencies are really benefiting these days, is the public to public, where where bureaucracy and the inefficiency that many people point out in the public sector is improving with the ability for public to public collaboration, where one organization within a public system is able to work with and talk to another public entity to not only streamline government, but to also enhance government. We're examples of the human resource department working closely with the police department and the fire department. The fire department, the police department working closely with public works and the IT department for infrastructure and networking abilities. So all of that, I think you're going to you can see the application, and I'm looking forward to hearing how you believe it will apply to maybe the agencies that you work for, and if there are any downsides to such partnerships. So I look forward to this discussion board this week. And then finally, we have another case assignment, and probably on one of the largest corporations, one of the most highly branded organizations in the entire world. It's on Nike and how Nike learns how to change. An excellent read for any of you that have some working knowledge on Nike and the concept and the development and the organization and the branding of Nike. I think you're going to enjoy this. I would imagine all of us have some working knowledge of this, so I think you're going to enjoy this case analysis. And once again, with our case analysis, there's those questions at the end. I want you to answer the two discussion at the end. 2 pages, APA formatted. As the weeks go on, my grading gets a little bit more strict. 2 pages means 2 pages. I want 2 complete pages of content. And by this point, we should really be fine-tuning our APA formatting. That if we are putting any in-text citations, we are citing them appropriately, and that we are including a clear and correctly formatted APA reference page. And the reason that I grade a little bit strict as the weeks goes on, it's because I want to ensure that we have that clean and dialed in by the end when we turn in our critical assignment, where we will need to ensure that we have accurate citations and APA formatting. So there you go, critical assignment, our written assignment, case study number 6. Once again, as always, will be due on the Sunday, the last day of the week, June 16th at 11:59 and 40 points possible. So there we have it, week 6. 2 deliverables, a discussion board and a case study. Got some reading to do. We got a video to watch. And I think the workload here is a little bit light this week, or I don't want to say light, but it's slightly reduced, which will give you a good opportunity to commit some quality time to your critical assignment. So the best of luck. Once again, I guess I say that a lot, but once again, if I'm not hearing from you, I have the assumption that everybody's doing well. And I just believe that everything's clicking and you're working through this properly. If by any chance that you have questions, comments, concerns, you need clarification on this week's assignment or the critical assignment, you need to email me as soon as possible. I don't believe there's a question that we can't solve. So try to stay cool. Try to, it's been incredibly hot the last few days. I guess you can just stay in the air conditioning and do your assignments. That's one way to stay cool. Be diligent. That critical assignment will be here before you know it. And just focus on the end because it is so close. And just put that energy into finishing strong in this course. I'll keep you all in my thoughts and prayers this week. I hope that you all have a safe week. And I look forward to talking to you very soon. So bye for now.